Hi, I'm Shane Lavellette, a Solutions Manager here at TechSmith, and I'm with...
I'm Mike Curtis. I work with Customer Success Initiatives, and we're here to talk about TechSmith Relay today.
That's right. We want to give you a high-level overview of how it works, and a demo gives a little bit more depth of what you can do with TechSmith Relay inside your organization. A couple key things that that TechSmith Relay really enables your organization to do is to create effective employee onboarding programs. So one of the things even that TechSmith we struggle with is we're hiring new employees and we're bringing them in, and how do we get them onboarded with all the things that you can do in TechSmith, all the policies, procedures that exist, even just getting started as a new employee, but also to start to understand the history and the culture of the organization. Another one is to help you develop on-demand training that your employees can access from anywhere around the world. Easily be able to share corporate communication. So when you want to communicate a message out, especially maybe from the executive level, to be able to get that out quickly to the employees in a much more engaging way, TechSmith Relay really enables that to be possible. And finally, like we talked about with the example, is to be able to build this library of knowledge sharing so your employees can be able to access and share their knowledge, and it's easy enough for all of them to create as well as consume that content. Let me give you a quick overview of how the solution actually works. So what it's made up of is an end-to-end solution that allows you to capture content on any device. So you can record off of a desktop, Windows, or Mac. So there's a desktop recorder that you can download right from the TechSmith Relay portal and installs, and it's automatically connected to that secure portal so you can share your content right from recording your screen on the desktop devices. You can also record from mobile devices, tablet devices, so we have an iOS and Android app called TechSmith Fuse that allows you to capture directly from those cameras on those devices and be able to share that as well. And that all goes then, once you hit the submit button, really simple, really easy to do, goes right to your organization's TechSmith Relay portal. So the great thing about TechSmith Relay is it's your organization's cloud-based portal for this content. And then from there, your employees or anyone you give access to can access and view the content on any device as well. So they can do that on iOS, Android devices, tablets, phones, as well as desktop computers on Macs and PCs.
And just to iterate a really important point for corporations is that at TechSmith, for example, if we create a video and put it in our corporation, and then let's say Shane shared it outside the organization, unless that user has the @techsmith.com email domain, they're not going to have access to the video. Unlike, let's say, with YouTube or somewhere where you might have an unlisted link and you have this important information out there floating about. And there's other ways to control the access to it too, but that's just an example. So I think what I'd like to do is, can we show them how to record, say, like a slide? You can record anything on your screen, remember, as PDFs or websites, webcams, Hangouts. But for this example, we'll just record a presentation. So instead of sending people a deck of slides that can be misinterpreted, we're going to narrate it.
Yep.
And then it'll be available for next week, next month, whoever needs reference.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do that, because it's really so easy to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up the actual recorder. And so this is the desktop recorder for Windows. So it's really simple to use. You just pick what screen you want to record. If you have more than one screen, multiple monitors connected, you just pick your screen, your audio device, and we automatically adjust audio levels so that you get the proper level. You don't have to worry about not recording or recording too low or too loud. You can put in a title, so we'll call this the Market Decision Makers. And you can put in a description, but you simply hit that big red record button. And what I'm going to do now is bring up this slide. And, oops, we'll get past this one. So then you just bring up your slide and you can narrate it. So, hi everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the K-12 market and who the decision makers are within that market. You've got your principals, superintendents are really at the top of the chain there and make the final calls on high budget items. And then you've got some user influencers that include teachers and media specialists, as well as then you've got technology coordinators. And then that's it. You simply can narrate, record your audio with the slides, and when you're done, you just hit the stop button. And then you can actually do a little bit of trimming as well. So here's the preview of what we just recorded. And oops. So you can see that. And actually what I did was I launched on the wrong slide. And so the nice thing here is I can actually trim this content. And so you just position this. I could trim the beginning and go here towards the end when I went back to out of the presentation mode. I could trim that. And now when I hit submit, it's automatically going to the portal, the TechSmith Relay portal for our organization. And so what's the great thing about this is you get a link back immediately. So I can just copy this link and be able to share this out. I could send an email to my team for them to watch this. I could post it somewhere on our wiki or on an internal resource somewhere if I wanted to do that. Or you can go and actually view that content now as it's processing and be able to share that with groups, which we're going to show you in just a minute. But before we do that, as easy as it is to do this on the desktop, we want to show you how easy it is to do it on the mobile device as well.
As Shane's saying up here, the nice thing is you can have your tablet or mobile device and just capture anything on a whim. So I don't know about you, but at TechSmith we have these very nice phones.
Right.
There's a lot of features, a lot of functionality. A lot of employees don't know how to use them. So let's make an office tips video and show us how this works.
Great, sounds good. So all I do, I have TechSmith Fuse, which I can just download it from the App Store. I hit the record button here in Fuse, and that's actually recording now with the camera, and I'll go. Hi everyone, I wanted to show you how to actually look somebody up in the directory using the phone. So all you have to do is hit the directory button and then type by their last name. So let's see, I need to call Mike Curtis, and so I type in CU and then R, and it'll start to narrow down my search results, and then I can use this arrow down button to start to go through the results. There's Mike Curtis right there. So then I can just hit the dial button right there.
And now everybody knows my extension.
That's right. So I'm going to hang that up. But that's how easy it is to look people up by directory so that you can call them on the phone. Thanks. Now I hit the stop button, and now what this will do is put this into my camera library. But I simply select that video. I could continue recording additional ones if I wanted to. So the video shows up in the library. Simply select that video. Here it is. And now I can send that to, you can send it to actually Snagit or Camtasia or TechSmith Relay. I'm going to hit TechSmith Relay and share to TechSmith Relay. I could give it a name and a description, or I can just hit the send option. And you can see it's preparing that video, and it's going to send that directly to the TechSmith Relay portal, again that secure portal, and put it into Mike's account, because we did it into Mike's account. And so you can see that takes just a couple minutes for it to get the video ready and be able to send that through, but it'll show up in his account. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, there's no cables, there's no iTunes accounts to mess with and fumble around with. If you're in the field, you can send your video. Let's say you find an incident report or you're doing an audit. We do customer testimonials and different interviews. Maybe you go to a conference and you just get all that video content automatically ported right up to your instance. So it's quite handy.
Exactly.
All right, let's take a look at where those videos ended up. Here I am signed into my TechSmith Relay account. And every video I create ends up in my videos tab. This is sort of like my personal library. And here we see the demo slide that Shane recorded just moments ago. We can play this back and get a feel for how that looks.
And you just bring up your slide and you can narrate it. So, hi everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the K-12 market and who the decision makers.
Again, really simple way to create that video is basically 3 clicks. We got audio, got narration, got the slide on the PowerPoint slide, and I was able then to be able to share that out that fast.
Yep, and it's very clean like that. Now, no offense to Shane, but let's say he tends to drone on and this presentation gets a little long.
Oh no, that's true.
It's
I'll
been known to
accept
happen. TechSmith Relay offers variable speed playback. Really handy if you have maybe a 45-minute, hour-long demo or some kind of presentation that, you know, the information is really important, but you can watch it and listen to it at a higher rate. That works on the iPad or mobile devices as well. Let's take a look at that other video we made. This was the real-world content recorded with the mobile device. And I think what we want to do here is take a look at how you can add this to a group. You see, there's a number of ways you can share the video with your organization.
I just wanted to jump in here, Mike, because look at the quality of that. So everybody has got these in their pockets now, right? These high-quality cameras are carrying around all the time, so you don't have to worry about having a big expensive camera to be able to capture really good quality video and be able to share that out. And that's really one of the great benefits of TechSmith Relay is being able, anybody can capture this kind of quality, look like a pro, and make something really useful that they can share out.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do today with something like TechSmith Relay as opposed to how hard that would have been even
Oh,
3
yeah.
years ago or something.
Right, you need to bring in a video crew and
Yep,
set
your
it up
lighting.
and take 2 days and get everything right.
What we're going to do is click Share to Group here, and on the fly, make a new group. We'll call it, maybe there's a club or a little group of people that has office tips. You know, what are those things that you wish you knew but you didn't find out until you've been working there for a couple of years?
Like QAD they do the help desk videos, those questions that people ask all the time.
And there it is, momentarily be signed into the Office Tips group. You can add a video to more than one groups if you wish, and then everyone in that group, which we can invite, would be notified when that content's available. Maybe what I'd like to do is just show you a couple more examples of some groups we have here. For example, the Snagit demos. As you maybe know, TechSmith has a product called Snagit. We're continuously improving it. About every week, the development team records a demo. And in great detail, it's like the next best thing to be in there. Instead of trying to schedule your meetings around and have to watch this, you can watch it at your own pace, on your own schedule, and it's just a really high fidelity way to know exactly what's going on, any concerns or feedback.
The great thing about that is it's not something that they have to do as a separate task or add to their workload, because they're doing this in a meeting already. So they're they're having a meeting, having their key stakeholders come in to see the progress that it was made over the week in the development of Snagit, and just record that with the desktop recorder as they are doing that through the meeting. And now it's able to be shared with the rest of the organization. So it's not like you've got to think about all this extra work somebody's got to do now. It's just another hit the record button, have the meeting, stop, share to group, and you're done.
It really amplifies your reach and your clarity.
Right.
Let's see here. We have usability tests with prospects and customers to really get their feedback. Again, super high detail. And let's see, let me just show you one that might relate to you. At TechSmith, we have open enrollment deadline last winter. And in the past, you know, you have 230 employees or so. Everybody has to turn in their forms. It's like one of those things that's
Right.
not my specialty, to put it that way.
Right.
But this year,
That's an HR headache every year, and they just, don't want to have to deal with this.
we have a nice video here that they put
Open
together that
enrollment
we
from
can
December
use in the
2nd to
future.
December 6th.
And
Please make sure you get the form into us by December 6th.
she walks
Open
through
enrollment information is
every
available in
detail.
SharePoint, as well as
And
on the first
basically what
page of
this
the
does is
enrollment
it
form,
removes
please make sure you have all your
excuses. Notice some highlighting. We've incorporated, you saw the ease of the TechSmith recorder. Well, if you want to use a tool like Camtasia, maybe your training department, you have some content that's going to sit around for a long time and be viewed by many people. Camtasia can feed TechSmith Relay as well.
Right, exactly. So you can make that a little bit more polished, training type videos if that's really important, or executive communication where you want it to be really key and look really good and professional. You can do even green screening capability in Camtasia, so you can have really polished backgrounds as part of that presentation. So you got the ability for everyone to do really simple, quick recordings from up to being really polished training kind of content that can be distributed through TechSmith Relay.
I like how she brought in an image here that literally tells you exactly where the binder is to take your stuff. So the most amazing thing of this year was that everyone turned it in. And here's
Turn it in on time, even.
Yeah. Nobody had to hunt anybody down. So we see that they've had 378 views. Most times when you send out a video, or for that matter an email, you don't know who really read it or what they interpreted from it. With something like a video, you really get that tone and that detail. And with TechSmith Relay, watch this. Every video you put in the system has analytics applied to it, so you know who watched it and how much they watched. Now for a video like this, perhaps it's not like a mandatory. If you can handle your form, of course, then you don't need to necessarily watch the video, but it's a great resource to have in your back pocket. And
Right, and sometimes there is compliance reasons why you have to know that certain employees have watched videos. There might be you have certifications that are required, and so the analytics allow you to know exactly who watched it and how much of that content they watched. So it's no longer going based on their word, and it doesn't matter where they are. They can be outside the organization, they can log in from home or on the road. It doesn't matter, as long as they can get to it and they can watch it on their own time when it's available and convenient for them, but they can still get that credit here because you have the analytics built in.
And I know what you might be thinking, wait a minute, they can push play, they can go get a cup of coffee or go to a different tab or something, which is true, but we also, as we'll show you in a second, can take it to the next level by embedding one or more quizzes at any point in the video with these checkpoints. And it really keeps you focused and accountable. Before we do that, and Shane will close with that, let's go take a look at just a couple more ideas. Maybe you're thinking of all the different ways you could use more video in your communication at the organization, but we sometimes use it for feedback. So for example, you want to have a one-on-one meeting with somebody to talk about this high-stakes project, but it's just not always feasible. So you can record that feedback over that document or presentation or web page and then go into great depth. And it's almost like you're sitting there next to them. We did some flipped meetings. So instead of spending meeting time trying to train you with like step-by-step stuff, get that out of the way in advance and then use that meeting time for hands-on stuff and collaboration and discussion.
Exactly.
So
Meetings tend to be one of the most expensive things in terms of time and resources in an organization. So the more effective you can make those meetings and not waste people's time in those meetings, you're saving your organization a lot of resources and cost as well.
I think that's the highlights. We could talk a little bit more about privacy or some of the admin roles, but I think the most important thing for this point is to look at maybe a quiz. What does it look like from a viewer's point of view? And then we can pull up what the content creator sees.
So what we want to do is show you that actually on a tablet device, you get a sense for what it's like for viewers on mobile devices. And again, they can access this on their desktops, on their laptops, or on tablets and mobile devices as well. So I'm going to show you that. So here is TechSmith Relay on iPad and the access here. So the design is designed to be responsive, so it'll size correctly for the different devices. But I want to show you an example here of this open enrollment video that Mike had shared and showed how that worked. I'm going to select that video and that loads up here. Nicely fills the screen again so you can see pretty much the full size of that video content. And then what I'm going to do is show you some of the interaction that you get as a viewer with this video. So I just simply hit the play button, and here's that video is loading up, and here's our open enrollment. And you know what I'm going to do is turn that down so it's not...
Open enrollment information is available.
There we go. Okay, so now you can see here I can skip around and jump to, and let me show you even how that variable speed playback here, I can access that on the mobile device, so it works really good with touch. I can select, 1.75, and that works good for me, so I can speed that up and watch it in a lot less time, save me some time without missing out on the information itself. But you notice down here, this little dot at the end, that's where the quiz shows up. And the great thing about the quizzing is you can put that really anywhere you want in the video. So you can have multiple spots of quizzing, and those will pop up right over the video content itself. So I'm going to jump ahead here and get closer to the end there. And this was about a 3.5 minute video. And as soon as it hits that quiz, it pops up this dialogue just like that, where it says take quiz now, or if you want, you can replay that last section. Sometimes when you're doing those check for understandings, the viewer may not have been paying attention like Mike talked about, but now we give them, this pops up, they know they're going to have to answer some questions, they can replay that section if they weren't paying attention. So I simply hit the take quiz now button. Again, touch interface works great. And so it's asking when the form is actually due, and so I can select that option. The nice thing about the quizzing is you have multiple different question types you can include, so you can do multiple choice, you can do true false, you can do short answer or fill in the blank type questions. And so this one was just that one question, and I'm done. I could go back and if I wanted to review the answers I gave, but then I can continue on. So the great thing about that too is, oops, let me pause that, is that I can come in and then view results of what people have done. So let me go into, I'm going to go into my account here and show you a video where I had sent out a demo video about, actually during the development of TechSmith Relay, and asked for feedback as part of that video, as well as some checks. I did some checks for understanding. So I'm going to select that video. So here's my video, but notice down beneath here I can go to the quizzing. So I'm going to select that, and then I can go and view the results. And so that'll load up my actual quiz results report. So you have a bunch of different options here in terms of how you look at the data. You can see a summary view of the information, and so this can give you information about the average score and how people did on the questions that you're graded. I guess that we didn't mention that, but you can it'll automatically grade questions if you want those scored. You have your choice if you do or not. And then you can look at it broken down specifically by viewer and how they scored on it. But the really great thing is looking at it by questions. And so you can see these are the 4 different questions I had asked throughout this video. But one of the key ones was I was able to ask them up front, what did they want to get out of this demo that I had submitted. So this really helped me get some feedback and understand, all right, here are the kinds of things people are thinking about as they are beginning to watch the video. So I put that one right at the beginning of the video before they'd watched anything, so I could get an understanding if my video actually is meeting and answering the questions they have before it began. And then the other thing is you can have questions about let them give comments back and feedback back to you that pops up at the end. So this is a free-form question response, and so viewers, not everybody's going to answer. Obviously, you can make it an optional, but you can get some really rich information back from them that you can't get in any other way from a video in a normal sense. Like typically, you know they watched a video or not, but you're not able to get this really rich feedback. And this has been a much more engaging way for us to communicate and share information inside the organization because of that feedback and that richness that comes back. So here, let me just quickly show you what that looks like now with a video with a quiz that has multiple places of the quiz throughout the video. So as you can see, there's a dot right there at the beginning, and that's the one that's going to pop up right away. I'm doing a little intro. You can see this was a picture-in-picture, so I have camera video going as well, which you can do with Relay. So if you want to record your face as part of the screen content, you can do that. And then here's that first quiz that pops up, and this is an example of that free-form type question. What questions do I currently have? And if I select that, again, it brings up the keyboard, so this is all touch-friendly. I can enter that, hit the next button, and then I get a question as well. This was a true-false question, and submit my answers. So the other thing you can do is if you are grading them is you can go back and review those answers as a viewer so they can go and see if they got that question correct or not. And I did. Lucky guess. 50-50 shot. So that's the viewer experience really in TechSmith Relay on a tablet device. Again, iPhone, a mobile device, or desktop. Any way you slice it, they can watch this content from anywhere they have internet access.
Thanks, Shane. And before we go, we have 2 last little quick things that might be worth knowing about. The first is up here in the search bar. So for example, we have a bunch of training videos and other types of videos about Get Satisfaction, which is our community forum for customer interaction. And you can search for videos within your organization up there. And the other nice thing that's worth knowing is that TechSmith Relay includes we call it a guided course. And so in the system, you're going to have the ability to have your users walk through some of these basic how-to things, like how to share your video, how to download the mobile app. And it takes about 15 or 20 minutes. So hopefully that helps with your deployment and your rollout so that you're not fielding too many questions. And if you do get some questions, hey, you can make a video.
Exactly. So this is really a nice way to guide people. And when they first create an account as well in the system, it's going to actually give them a link to be able to jump right into this guided course so they can teach themselves. So it's not all on you necessarily to have to train everyone in your organization on how to use TechSmith Relay, because we're, again, trying to make this as easy and simple so that anybody can be a content creator, anybody can share their knowledge within the system, and you don't have to take on the burden of being the trainer for everybody.
So we hope that you have a better understanding about how TechSmith Relay works, and perhaps more importantly, some of the problems that you might be able to solve with a tool like TechSmith Relay. Thanks so much.
Thank you.